Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are doing our 2025 yearly planning. We're going to start out with a little bit of a mindset check first, then get into the nitty-gritty of the actual planning. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Flora, certified simplification coach. And for over 27 years, I've been helping women like you align into a life and a business that you are wildly obsessed with by helping you clear out the 9 types of clutter, keeping you from a life that you love. And again, today I'm going to help you get really clear on your goals and help you to make some shifts that will ensure that your 2025 is different from any other year that you've planned before. All right, let's jump into this. The first thing that we're going to get clear on is your willingness. What are you willing to do in 2025 to make your goals a reality? We often set goals based on what we want, but end up failing because we're not really honest about what we're actually willing to do. Let's just say that you want to lose 50 pounds. Do you know what it's going to take to actually achieve that? Do you know what it's going to take to actually lose the 50 pounds? And are you willing to do the work? If you want to build a 7-figure company and right now you're in mid 6 figures, do you know what it will take to achieve that? And are you willing to do the work? If you're not willing to do the work necessary to achieve the goal, don't put the goal down. The next thing is I want you to think about what's called the X factor in goal setting. If X were to happen this next year, it would make this next year the best year of my life. What is X for you? So I want you to think about what that one transformational result would be or what it would look like, whether personally or professionally, and how it could change literally everything. Now I want you to ask yourself, who do you have to be to make this happen? This is kind of that be, do, have. Like be is what mindset, habits, or energy must you embody. The do is what actions or changes are necessary in your life for you to actually have this thing. And then have is what results are going to follow that. So who do you have to be? What do you have to do in order to achieve and obtain these results? What would that one thing be? The next thing that I want you to think about is make your goals based on what you're willing to do, not what you want to do. Because again, there's so many people that say, I want to do this and I want to do that, but they're not willing to do the work. So again, do you want to grow your own business? Well, you might need to raise your standards, hire a team, be more assertive. Do you want to create more time in your life? Well, you'll probably need to declutter your calendar and say no to distractions. So what shifts need to happen in your life and business to align into these particular goals? And again, really look at your willingness. Am I willing to do the work? Am I willing to be that person that shows up every day to do the specific action so that I can finally have the results that I'm craving and desiring to have in my life? The last thing that we're going to talk about before we get into the actual nitty-gritty of writing down your goals is I really want you to get clarity on what your priorities are, what resources you have at the ready, and what shifts you're ready to make right now in your life. One of the biggest questions that I want you to ask yourself as you're writing down these goals is, how is this time any different from any other times that I've planned to achieve this goal? So again, I'll give you an example. A lot of people want to lose weight, okay? So I want to lose 50 pounds, or I want to lose 25 pounds or 10 pounds. And you keep setting that goal and you keep setting the goal, but you don't follow through with it. Okay, so how is this time any different? Let's just say that you want to have better communication with your partner and you've set this as a goal for the last couple of years and you still haven't done anything to improve your communication. How is this time different? If you want to move from multiple 6 figures to 7 figures and you've been trying over the last couple of years, trying over the last couple of years. I do put that in quotes. And you haven't done it. How is this time different than the last 2 or 3 times that you set this goal and you didn't achieve it? When you can get really honest with yourself about what you're not willing to do versus what you are willing to do, then when you set your goals, you're going to write something down and you're going to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm not willing to do that. I actually remember Mel Robbins years ago. She said that she was following all these fitness influencers that had 6-pack abs and all this other stuff. And she goes, you know what? I'm not willing to do what it takes to get 6-pack abs. So therefore, I'm just going to unfollow all of these people and just clear that from my psyche, clear that from my mind. And that's the same thing here, is that what do you want, and do you really want it enough to actually do the work necessary to have that thing in your life and or in your business? And then ask yourself, if I do want this, if you really do want this and you are willing to do the work, how is this time different? Why is this time different than any other time that you have set this goal? When you can reflect on this and you can recognize this is a goal that I want, yes, I am willing to do the work, and this is how this time is different, then you surely are setting yourself up for success, because now you're getting crystal clear on all that forward momentum and all that momentum that is the foundation of moving into this new year, willing and able and knowing your why as to why you want to accomplish this goal. All right, so now is when we put pen to paper and actually write down all of your goals and plans and dreams for the next year. First things first, get out your calendar and I want you to write down all of your personal days. So write down birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, moving dates, any vacations. Block all of those off on your calendar first. The next thing that we're going to do is I want you to think about and write down what phase of life you're going to be in this next year. Do you have kids that are moving out of the house and you're now going to become an empty nester? Do you have a new addition coming into the house? Are you going to be moving? Are you going to be downsizing, upsizing? Really give yourself permission to look at what phase of life or season of life that you're going to be in this next year. Are you starting a business? Are you selling a business? Are you adding another business? Are you changing careers? Are you retiring? Really look at the container that your life is going to be in this next year, and then move on to the next question. All right, the next question is, what priorities should I have during this season of life in this next year? Now, list 3 to 4 of your priorities. Now, if you're new here, you may not understand this question. This is all in my book, The 1 Degree Shift, and this is in multiple podcast episodes before this. Let's just say that the season of life that you're in is you are going to be building a business or adding a second business or selling a business. Your priorities should be to focus in on making sure that this business meets all the KPIs so that you can sell for a high price. Or if you're building a business, do your market research, do all this other stuff. Let's just say, flipping from the business side to the personal side, let's just say that you're getting married. So your priorities should be to pay off the wedding, to make sure that all of the wedding things are checked off. So it should be to really prioritize and get all of those things locked in so that there's no running around and like trying to figure out like last minute things like, oh my gosh, where are the flowers? Oh my goodness, where's the DJ? Where's the band? All that stuff. Let's just say that you're planning on getting pregnant and maybe you have to lose some weight before you can try as per your doctor. Your priorities should be to maybe prioritize sleep, prioritize getting your steps in, prioritize healthy eating. So really think about what phase of life that you're going to be in this next year and what priorities should be in place for that phase or season of your life. The next question for you is, knowing my priorities and the season of life that I'm going to be in this next year, what are my top 3 to 4 goals? what are my top 3 to 4 goals now that I know what my priorities are and what season of life I'm going to be in. All right, the next question is, what types of clutter might get in the way of my ability to achieve these goals this year? I'll give you an example. I had a client of mine last year who wanted to completely declutter and downsize her entire space. And she knew from the previous year's review that mental clutter was her number one piece of clutter that just kicked her out of productivity. And she's just like, oh, I just can't even. One of the things that we did every single time that we met on Zoom was we would look at, okay, what mental clutter might be getting in the way of your ability to be productive this week. And she had a really big project coming up where she wanted to declutter and downsize her entire storage building that she had. And she was kind of like going, oh my gosh, like I don't even know where to start. And they actually had 3 full days where they were going to completely gut her building out and she's like, I don't even know where to start. And she was kind of getting in this freeze mode. And I said, okay, hang on, take a deep breath. We're going to regroup. You know that you're going to start at the beginning of the day and work all the way through the end of the day, right? And she said, yes. And I said, okay, what are you going to fuel your body with during the day? She goes, oh, I don't even know. And I said, that's priority number 1 is plan your meals in advance. Plan your meals and plan your snacks. And so she's like, okay. And I said, what meals do you really, really like that give you energy and don't make you feel tired or lethargic afterwards? She listed them out. I'm like, perfect. What snacks do the same? She listed them out. I said, perfect. Those are your evening meals and your snacks throughout the day. What breakfast gives you energy? She listed them out. I said, perfect. That's your breakfast each morning when you go to do this project. She's like, oh my gosh, yes, perfect. So she had all of the meals and snacks planned. I said, okay, the next thing, what are we going to do? We're going to look at and plan for the supplies that you might need. Face masks, because if it's, super dusty and whatnot, trash bags. So we listed out all of the supplies. And then her and her husband both had separate areas. And then they had the sort of together stuff in her building. So then I made a list of what things she was supposed to do, what things he was supposed to do, and what things they were supposed to do together. And we planned out the entire weekend, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so she knew mental clutter would always get in her way of her ability to stay focused and to really accomplish the things that she wants to accomplish. And so what we did was, again, we collaborated, we worked together, and we created this plan of action of meals so that they would stay fueled, supplies, and then every single day on how much she wanted to get finished and get through each day of the downsize and each day of the declutter. And by the end of our time working together, she literally downsized everything and was able to move with 0 headache. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't believe we got through all of this. And again, mental clutter was that thing that was really holding her back and that got in the way in the past of her ability to accomplish the things that she wanted to accomplish. Get really raw and honest with yourself about what types of clutter might get in the way of my ability to achieve the goals that I wrote down to achieve this year. Okay, the next thing is, what key actions or milestones do you need to meet in order to achieve these goals? What key actions or milestones do you need to meet in order to achieve the goals that you just wrote down? I'll give you another example. Let's just say that you completely revamped your business and you want to bring in 10 key clients. And so let's just say that you have an SLO funnel or a self-liquidating offer that you have that you're going to bring everybody into. And so the first thing, of course, is to make sure that you get all the back-end systems done. That would be your first milestone, is get all of the SLO stuff, all that stuff set up, and then get your ads set up. Then start running the ads. And then, of course, do your checks and balances, do the KPIs, allow yourself to really look at what's working, what's not working. And those key milestones, when you write them out, you'll be able to check them off and to really systematically know what you have to do next and what is working and what isn't working. Let's just say that you want to downsize. And so those key actions or those key milestones is downsize the basement, downsize the attic, downsize the garage, and then downsize the second bedroom, downsize the main bedroom. And so really allowing yourself to chunk up your main goal into tiny baby actions so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. Because this is one of the things, if it feels overwhelming, you're probably not going to do it. No matter how willing you are, this is one of the reasons why we look at the types of clutter that get in our way. If it's daily clutter, process clutter, mental clutter, we can circumvent that before it even happens. You can recognize, hang on, I have a lot of mental clutter. I get overwhelmed. I don't know what steps to take. So when I plan for, XYZ goal, I'm going to make sure that I have a step-by-step. I make sure that I keep my processes simple. I make sure that maybe I have help or a body double that will come in to help me, or I have support of a coach or mentor. So giving yourself permission to recognize the season of life that you're in, the goals that you have, your willingness to actually do the work so that you can achieve those goals is massive. But then also recognizing the clutter that might get in the way of your ability to actually accomplish the goal is massive. Then just figure out, what are those key actions that I need to take in order to make this happen? If you don't know the steps to take, Google it. Go to ChatGPT and ask, what steps do I need to take to lose 25 pounds over the next year? You got to recognize what you know and what you don't know about what you're trying to accomplish. And this is one of the reasons why having a coach or mentor is so valuable to achieving and creating lasting results, not only in your life, but in your business as well. All right, the next question is, what is the theme, word, or mantra for you to use to keep yourself focused on achieving your goals this year? What theme, word, or mantra are you going to use to keep yourself focused on achieving your goals this year? All right, the next question, who do you keep counsel with? Who is going to hold you accountable for achieving these goals? This could be a coach, a mentor, a best friend. This could be an accountability buddy. Who is going to hold you accountable for these goals? All right, the next question I want you to ask yourself is, who do I need to be in order to achieve my goals? How will I show up for myself? Nobody else is going to show up for you. How are you going to show up for yourself this year? Who do you need to be? All right, the next question is, what do I need to tell myself in order to get out of a funk that might keep me from achieving my goals? We've all been there, myself included. It's, let's just say, the middle of March or the middle of June. And you're kind of slogging away and you're like, oh, I haven't even touched my goal yet. Or I was going really good for the first couple of months and then a plot twist happened. And then something else happened. And then something else happened. And then I totally forgot about my goals. And then, oh my gosh, now I'm in a funk. So what do you need to tell yourself when you're in a funk, if and when you get in, and literally everybody gets in a funk at some point during the year? What do you need to tell yourself in order to get out of that funk that might keep you from achieving your goal? All right, this is your last question. What do I need to consume over the next year to stay motivated and aligned with these goals? What you consume is going to impact your mindset. It's going to impact your mood. It's going to impact your attitude. It's going to impact your motivation. It's going to impact your intention. So what do you need to consume in order to make this happen? In order for you to stay excited, forward thinking, and full of that possibility and opportunity and resourceful mindset. So no matter what, you persevere. This could be consuming a podcast that you really like. This could be listening to motivating soundtracks or lyrics or affirmations every single day. I personally use an app called Think Up, And I've recorded myself saying I am affirmations. I listen to this every single morning, sometimes multiple times throughout the day, depending on my mindset and depending on what's going on and what I need to fix and address during my day. Give yourself permission to say, what do I need to read or listen to or consume on a daily basis to keep my mindset in check, to keep my motivation in check, to keep my mood in check, to keep my excitement in check. You know that I love Neville Goddard, and one of the things that he talks about is embodying the energy of the feeling of the wish fulfilled and acting from that place, not acting as if, because if you act as if, you're looking to that thing instead of from it. So what do you need to consume in order to act from that space of already having that thing that you say that you want, that's going to keep that willingness to act alive? So this might take you a hot minute to kind of think about what books to listen to, what podcasts, what songs, what motivational speaker, all the things. Go ahead and brainstorm and write out a list of things for you to consume throughout the month and the weeks and the entire year that will keep you focused on what it is that you say that you want. Congratulations, you just finished your 2025 yearly planning. And to kind of go back and review, the first thing that we did is we looked at your willingness. Are you willing to do what it takes to get what you say that you want? We also looked at that X factor. If X were to happen, if this one thing were to happen in 2025, that would make this year the best year of my life so far. What is X for you? And who do you need to be? What mindset, habits, and energy must you embody in order to have that result, in order to get that thing? What actions do you need to take that will get you there? And then we also looked at what you might need to do in order to make your dreams a reality. So again, we kind of played around with, if you want to go from multiple 6 figures to 7 figures, you might need to raise your standards. You might need to become more assertive. You might need to hire a new team member or fire a current one that's underperforming. If you want to lose weight, what might you need to do? And again, we're kind of looking at these possibilities and creating these shifts in your mindset so that you can start to mentally and emotionally prepare yourself based on your willingness of what you might need to do in order to have these things in your life. And then lastly, we looked at how is this time different? Now that I know I'm in this season of my life and these are my priorities and these are my goals that I have for myself over this next year, I am willing to do the work. But how is this time different? How is this time actually so different, in fact, that I will take action? I will be that person, that version of myself that follows through with intentional action. I'm so proud of you. If you want my help with how to create an action plan, a game plan, one of the things that I do with my private clients is we do 90-day sprints within a 12-month model. I would love to share this with you. If you want some insights in this, if you want to pick my brain about how to do the 90-day sprint for yourself, click the link in the show notes, book a complimentary strategy session with me, and together we will sift through all the things that you have and create a clear roadmap for you for this next year. Go ahead and post in the comments your biggest aha moment or one goal that you know you are willing to achieve this year. I hope this serves you today, and I will see you in the next episode. Mwah.